Hiya love, and welcome to Theatre Review number 10. Today we're going to be chatting about London Palladium's production of The Wind in the Willows. I can't get over how much I sounded like a presenter then. Somebody give me a presenting job. I am really buzzing to be back doing theatre reviews and to sort of weave myself back into doing them on a regular basis. I kind of wanted to watch something a little bit uplifting, and so I saw that the Show Must Go On's YouTube channel were streaming Wind in the Willows for 48 hours, and it was absolutely brilliant. The British comedy in it was so hearty, so warm, so engaging, and I found that the score, the soundtrack, was just brilliant. The harmonies were beautiful, the songs were very heartfelt, and with the characters being woodland creatures, it just kind of lended itself to the story really well. So, I mean, George Stiles and Anthony Drew, who wrote the music and lyrics, kudos to you, it was brilliant. This is a classic story, and so Kenneth Grahame's original book was brought to life in a sort of new, vibrant and colourful way. You had Rufus Hound, who was playing Toad, and he played the part with such energy and charisma, the kind of energy you would expect from that character, because Toad's a little bit off the walls. Really fantastic. I think a lot of the younger people in the audience will have really appreciated his performance. You then had Craig Mather playing Mole, and you had Simon Lipkin playing Rat. Now these two are like two peas in a pod throughout the whole show. And you know, they have a lot of ups and downs within their friendship, but you never question the friendship. They're very strongly connected, I would say. And both those two and Toad are, well, they're lifelong friends really. And I think the sort of conflict in Rat's character especially, where he's like, you know, Toad never learns anything, he doesn't appreciate our friendship, really came through in Simon's performance. Now, I'd actually seen Simon Lipkin before in a production of Rock of Ages and ages ago, and he's such a brilliant performer. He's got such an amazing energy, but what was so nice was to see him in something so different to Rock of Ages. He played it so naturalistically, and he was probably the voice of reason in a way at times, as was Badger, played by Gary Wilmot, who I just thought he was brilliant. Such a fab voice, and obviously Badger is the kind of grumpy, authoritative figure within the story, and I think he did that really well. As I mentioned, Craig Mather played Mole, and for me, I think Mole and Craig's performance was the one I gravitated to the most, because it was very pure, it was very innocent. If he did something, he did it wholeheartedly. If he was scared, he really opened up with his vulnerability, and I think I saw a lot of relatable traits in that character, and so for me that was why I connected with it the most. But I think the way Craig played it was so gorgeous, and his voice really complemented the songs of that character. So I mean, yeah, big up from me. Craig was amazing. Another of the lead roles was Mrs. Otter, played by Denise Welch, and you know what? That's the first time I've ever seen Denise on stage. I know she's done a lot on stage before, and she's done a lot of TV as well, but she was great. She had such a maternal energy about her, and of course Mrs. Otter is a mum in the show, but she showed that strength and compassion towards not only her children but the other younger characters in the show. So I mean, she was just, yeah, a lot of fun to watch. Generally speaking, I thought that the way they staged it was very clever. It was a really nice use of the space in the Palladium setting. You know, the set wasn't overly bombarded with props or anything like that. I just thought it was really simple yet effective. The only main character for me that I didn't connect with as much was probably Neil McDermott, who played the Chief Weasel. Now, he was a very physical actor. He took that role on in a very physical way, very hands-on, really embodied the physicality of a weasel, and that came across, that sort of villainous nature of the character came across. So amazing in that sense. I think a lot of the younger audience members will have really connected with him because of that. You know, there was almost that kind of slapstick element to it. But for me personally, I didn't really like the way he actually played the part and, you know, delivered the lines and that kind of thing. There wasn't really much going on in his face, and I do think that was largely because there was a lot of choreography for him to take on, and because the part was so physical, it almost makes me think that maybe the sort of facial expressions were kind of put to one side a little bit and forgotten about. It was a shame actually, because like I said, there was that villainous vibe about him, but I just felt there was a bit of a disconnection from the actual delivery of what he was saying. So that, for me, I think he was probably the only person in the cast where I was like, sorry pal, not really connecting with you. Aside from that, those main characters, along with such a strong ensemble, were just brilliant. They lifted the words from the page, they lifted the songs from the page, and like I said before, the songs were so homely and so engaging to all ages, which was, yeah, it was a real treat. Now I am going to refer to my list simply because I want to tell you some of the songs in the score which I loved. The Open Road, it's the first song where we really see Toad, and Rufus Hound delivered it really well. The energy was so high, you could hear the audience were just loving it. Great song, really loved it. A Friend Is Still a Friend, oh my god, my heart felt like it had just been like ripped out and then put back in again. It was like, oh my god, this is heartbreaking but heartwarming at the same time. Yeah, brilliant song. It is then brought back into the show later on. I think it's probably one of the most important songs in the show because friendship is such a strong theme throughout. Loved that one. As If in a Dream, fantastic. That was the song right before the interval, and it's where Toad is in court because he's stolen someone's car, and Toad is basically saying, oh, as if I was in a dream, you know, I got behind the wheel and started driving and this, that and the other. It was such a big, like, climactic moment of the show, and right before the interval, that is exactly what you want in a musical. So yeah, loved that one. Now then, this one was probably the most interestingly engaging song in the show. To Be a Woman. Now this is when Toad is in prison, and the washerwoman's niece, you know, the lady who sort of gets all the prison clothes from the inmates, her niece has basically come in to do her job for the day, and she's got the actor, I'm not sure what her name was, but she played this part with a really strong Liverpudlian accent, and she was talking to Toad with such admiration, and then she just confronts him and says, you know what, you're a daft sod, you're really daft, for want of a better word. And that's when this song comes about, because she sees that he's sorry, finally. He's sorry for something, and she wants to help him get out. And so she's saying, you have to be a woman. You have to pretend to be my aunt. And this song plays out, and I was amazed by this woman who was singing. I need to find out what her name was, because she was just amazing. Her voice was brilliant, her characterisation was brilliant, and those two together just complemented each other so well, and it felt like a really jazzy number in the show, so I really enjoyed it. And finally, the other song that The other song that really stuck out to me was the Wassailing Mice, or Wassailing Mice. They said Wassailing in the show, but it spelt Wassailing. Who knows? I don't know. If anyone does know, let me know. It was a really powerful moment, and I don't think its intention was to be as powerful as it was. I got the impression that it was meant to be a kind of nostalgic feeling, perhaps a homely feeling, and these mice sing above Mole's home, and it was almost like a tradition. Listening to this song felt like a group of animals that were living through their tradition that they did every year, and I think it was really amazing how they managed to sort of put that feeling into a song and that element of tradition. It was just beautiful, and again, like I said before, the harmonies throughout the whole show, especially in that song, were just, oh, they were beautiful. And I think because of, you know, the impact each song had, because of the harmonies, because of how well written it was, I really engaged to the music. Yeah, just amazing. Finally, just before I wrap up, I have to mention the costumes. I thought the costumes were really interesting. You know, they could have gone all out and made them like real animals. You know, they could have got like fake fur and all that kind of thing, but they didn't. They actually got human outfits and made little amendments to them. So they'd have like a hat and then they'd sew some ears on, or they'd have like a bowler hat and they'd put some ears on the side and feathers and that kind of thing. They'd put tails on jackets, and it was just lovely. Like, a child can see somebody in a normal human coat, like a duffel coat, then they'll go, oh, I've got that, you know, I wear that. And so they connect to the characters on a completely different level. And I think having that sort of intention is always going to set you up for a really great show. So, I mean, the costume department, I applaud you. You were fabulous. And I realised that this show was put on in 2017, but who cares? It was being streamed on The Show Must Go On's YouTube channel. I'll put the link below in the video description if you want to check it out. They are streaming a lot of shows at the minute, and they're all going up for like 48 hours, so you've got 2 days to check them out. But do go and support them. If you can donate, do donate. Brilliant platform for streaming theatre online, and they're doing a really smashing job. But I'm so chuffed to be back doing theatre reviews again. It's been a really long time, like I said, since I've actually sat down and watched some theatre online. I've just been so busy doing other things, but I really hoped that you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you again very soon. If you're new to this channel, please make sure that you like and subscribe and be prepared for all the goodness. And if you're a returning subscriber, then thank you so much for coming back. Your support really does mean the world, and I am on my way to 100 subscribers. So make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. But until the next time, guys, you are amazing, and I'll see you very soon. Mwah! See you later.